What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Thrasher Show. We got a lot to talk about. My name is Adam Thrasher.
And my name is Brennan Thrasher. Today we're going to be doing our reaction to the college football playoffs and then giving a projection of who we think is going to win every game all the way to the national championship. And we're going to be giving our top three Heismans, and then we're going to have one dark horse, and we're going to be talking about the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight. So the committee released their rankings yesterday. Was there any surprises or anything that kind of caught you off guard?
I think the Tulane team being at number 12 kind of caught me off guard. They had two bad losses. They got blew out by Ole Miss, and then they lost to Texas San Antonio,
And they
which
got
is a
killed
4-4.
by UTSA.
Yeah. Well, they got killed in both their losses.
Yeah. Are you kind of surprised that they didn't put North Texas there? I mean, they're in the same division and they have one less loss.
Uh, yeah, I think they have better quality wins. And they got a big win over Navy, which is also one of the contenders for that top 12 spots. Um, I just I don't like Tulane at that 12 spot because they have two bad losses.
Well, I think one of the reasons they put them there is because Tulane has two Power Four wins. They beat Duke and Northwestern, which Northwestern's not a bad team, but I mean, they probably shouldn't be 12. Do you think they're going to get rid of the automatic bid like the G5 team? And like this year, the ACC or G5 team probably don't deserve it. Do you think they'll get rid of that? Or
I don't. I think they're always going to give a Cinderella type team a shot. I'm not saying Miami is a Cinderella team, but they're that G5 team. They're always going to give them a spot. I don't believe they're going to be able to compete, but they're going to give them a shot just in case.
I mean, last year Boise State probably deserved to get in, and they got killed. I mean, didn't get killed, but they got beat by Penn State pretty bad. So I think they're probably going to get rid of the automatic bids. Do you think they'll expand the playoffs at any point, or do you think 12 is the perfect number?
I think 12 is good. I don't think they should expand. They could even go to 10 teams, and I would be okay with that.
And that would mean the first two teams get or one and two get a bye.
Yeah, one and two get a bye.
All right, we already kind of talked about Tulane. The other teams in contention are James Madison. James Madison's 9-1, but they're in the Sun Belt, which is a weaker conference than the AAC, which the American Conference is probably the best G5. I mean, they got North Texas, Navy, South Florida. South Florida kind of fell off. They were the lead to go into the playoffs. They beat Florida, but then they just lost to Navy. So
Yeah, I think that Navy loss kind of. I think Tulane's gonna have to lose to get put out.
it'll
They
probably
that's
North Texas and Tulane don't play each other. The only time they'll play is in the American Conference Championship. North Texas has a really good quarterback. I like them. I think they'll probably get in over Tulane. I'm predicting that they beat Tulane in the playoffs. I mean, in the championship, especially with John Summerall being on in these coaches, like all these coaching searches. I mean, he had a meeting with Florida today that got canceled for some reason. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means that he's looking another way or if Florida's found their coach.
yeah, that's the big thing. Everybody's saying Lane's going to Florida. I'm really hoping that's not the case.
Honestly, I wouldn't care if he did leave. He's a clown.
Yeah,
The
I
way the
don't know
way
about
he's
a claim.
acting right now, you see the Pat McAfee interview.
No, I didn't.
He's a clown, to be honest. I mean, it's
I,
definitely gonna hurt if Ole Miss loses him. I actually heard John Summerall's in contention for the Auburn spot, but he's waiting to see what Lane Kiffin does because if I think he wants to go to Ole Miss, I think that's the job he wants right now, and I think Ole Miss would probably hire him. I think he's a really good coach.
yeah, him or I would go after Clark Lee at Vanderbilt. I think those are my two main guys I would go after if Lane does decide to leave.
All right, number 11, you got Miami. What do you think about them?
Um, I think if they play Ole Miss, that Ole Miss is going to destroy them unless they're distracted with the whole Lane deal. Um,
Yeah,
I think Carson Beck.
Miami. What do you think of Miami? Maybe the controversy of these rankings. Miami being below Notre Dame, even though they beat Notre Dame, even though it was the first game of the season. I mean, it's almost justifiable because Notre Dame is probably the better team. But I don't know if you can do that after the head-to-head. What do you think about that?
A head-to-head always has to count more than anything else.
So even if it was
Um,
the first game of the season, you still.
yeah, yeah. I still put them over just because they won the head-to-head matchup.
I mean, Notre Dame's losses are better than Miami's, but one of their losses is Miami. So I agree with you. I think. Do you think Notre Dame deserves to be in after they lost pretty much the only two? I mean, they played USC and beat USC, and USC's could very well get in the playoffs. But the two teams they played, I mean, one being Texas A&M, and that was a one possession game. The other being Miami. Do you think they deserve to get in as high as they are at number 9, or do you think they should be 11, 12?
I would probably put them at the 11th spot.
So you think Miami deserves to be 9, or
I mean, just because of the head-to-head matchup,
yeah,
and you always put the
if they're
team
gonna
that's
if they're gonna
beat the
put
other team.
Miami and Notre Dame in there, Miami deserves to be in over them.
Yeah.
So, and that's big because Notre Dame's playing Oklahoma and Miami's being playing Ole Miss, and Ole Miss beat Oklahoma. So I mean, it's really big. And so number 10, you have Alabama. They just lost to Oklahoma. I believe it was a 23-21 loss. And are you surprised they dropped 6 spots after losing to Oklahoma?
Not. Yeah, I am kind of surprised because Oklahoma's a very good team. They have a John Mateer as a quarterback, which before he got injured, he was probably your Heisman front runner. Um, uh, like I said, I wouldn't have dropped them 6 spots, but 'cause I
But
still believe
it's
they're one
still
of the.
that loss against Florida State. I mean, Miami beat Florida State. I mean, that I it was the first game of the season, but they lost by 14 points to a team that's lost like 5 straight. I mean, that's a terrible loss on their resume. If they didn't lose that game, there's no way they dropped 6 spots.
Yeah, I think that Florida State loss was probably the worst loss of any of the Power Four teams in the playoffs. Was Florida State 5-5 now? It was a very bad loss.
Yeah, which Texas A&M almost got a worse loss. Maybe not worse. I don't know if South Carolina probably beats Florida State, but I mean they were losing 30-3 at halftime, but they avoided that. It seems like the committee's kind of has recency bias because Oklahoma is over Alabama with the head-to-head, but Miami's not over Notre Dame.
Yes, that's you got to be consistent whenever you do these this playoff. Um, you can't you can't go one way for one team and then another way for a different team.
Coming in at number 9, you have Notre Dame. We already kind of talked about them. They have a great running back. Probably going to see him in one of our Heisman top 3. I don't know. They got a really good quarterback, true freshman quarterback, CJ Carr. A lot of people said in the next couple of years he's probably going to go win overall. So what do you think about Notre Dame? Do you think, like you said, they probably shouldn't be over Miami, right?
No, you always go with the head to head. That, like I said, I really like Jeremiah Love. I think he's a great running back. He's definitely first round talent. Um, but
Do you think
you can't
he
put.
do you think he goes as high as Genty went? Genty went 6 or 8. Do you think he goes that high or probably
I,
not?
Probably not. I think a lot of these NFL teams see that you can get a good running back in the later rounds, and you don't have to pay him as much. I think the shelf life on a running back is 3-4 years. So why would you pay them a lot of money?
Yeah. And I mean, Quinshawn got drafted second round. Travion Harrison got drafted whatever round he did, and they've been pretty good. Number 8, Oklahoma. They got a big win over Alabama. They got 2 losses. One, which was not a very good loss. I understand it's a rivalry, but they got killed by Texas, which it was John Mateer's first game back. So do you give him any grace with that, or?
I don't think. How many losses does Oklahoma have?
They have 2. They lost a close one to Ole Miss, even though it was a home
That's
game
right.
for Oklahoma. And then their other loss was a neutral site game in the Red River rivalry, whatever you say.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they, like I said, I don't believe they're one of the top 12 teams in the country. I think they're very good. Like I said, I probably had John Mateer as my favorite to win the Heisman before the season started. I think he's a great quarterback, but that injury kind of derailed that.
I don't know if their offense is good enough to compete with some of these teams. They
They don't.
kind of have trouble on offense. Their defense is great. They did just lose one of their best defensive linemen, so their defense is really good. Their offense is, I mean, it's kind of, if John Mateer is not doing what he's doing, then I don't really see him even being a Notre Dame.
Yeah. Um, they have some issues with their tackling. They had, and their defensive backs aren't very good. Uh,
They have a very good defensive line, though.
yeah, their defensive line is extremely, extremely good. I think they have several guys on there that are going to get drafted.
Coming at number 7, you have Oregon. Or you think it's right that Ole Miss is over Oregon, right? I mean, Ole Miss has to be over Oregon.
Yes, it's a one-loss team. I think uh,
Especially with Ole
Oregon.
Miss's best win being Oklahoma away in their 8th, and Oregon's best win is what? Is it Iowa?
Yeah, I would say Iowa's probably their best win.
I have a
Um,
prediction. I don't think Oregon's gonna get in. I think it's gonna be. I think USC is gonna beat them this week. They have a big one against USC. They maybe have a chance to kind of prove themselves. So I think USC beats them, and they're a 2-loss team. And I think either them or BYU is gonna get in. I don't think Oregon's getting in.
yeah, if I had to pick anybody to get in over Oregon, I would really like the BYU team.
They
Um,
did get killed by
that
Texas Tech. What about Vanderbilt? I mean, they're a 2-loss team. They're one of their losses were against Alabama, and one of their losses were against Texas. So
yeah, Diego Pavia, he's a great quarterback. I think he's been in college football for about 10 years, but he still does a good job. He's very exciting to watch, um, and if Vanderbilt can win out, he's got a very good shot at winning the Heisman.
I agree. Do you think the story helps them that it's Vanderbilt and they really haven't seen this much success?
Oh yeah, I mean, and they have a great coach. Like I said, that's one of the guys that I really hope Ole Miss goes after if Lane Kiffin leaves. But they they had a pretty good season last year, but I
For
think
Vanderbilt standards.
that what's that?
For Vanderbilt standards, they were like 7-6.
Yeah, they're kind of that Cinderella team that you want to see do well.
I don't know if you knew this, but Diego Pavia actually has a grandson on the team for Vanderbilt.
I wouldn't surprise me. Like
Anyways, number 6 is Ole Miss.
uh, my favorite team, I think they do a great job. Very explosive offense.
Their
The
defensive
run game,
line could use.
yeah,
I
they
don't.
got they
I
got
think it's their secondary that's messing up their defensive line because they have to take people out of the box because their secondary is. I think their secondary is the weak link on this team. I think. I mean, Miami's got a good passing offense. I don't think they'll lose to Miami, but you see some of these other teams. I mean, Oklahoma can't really push the ball down the field. You kind of worry if you have to face a team like Alabama or something like that that can push it down the field.
Um, Another high point on Ole Miss, they're very deep on the offense. They have a lot of receivers that can catch the ball. Ewan Lacey's probably top three running backs in college football right now. And Trinidad Chambliss, which came out of nowhere, like nobody expected him to even be the starter. But he's surprised everybody, and he's doing a great job.
Do you think the Lane Kiffin stuff is taken away from them and they're not getting the recognition they deserve because nobody's talking about a 2-1 team? I mean, Trinidad Chambliss was a D2 quarterback, and that was talked about at the beginning of the season, but I felt like everybody's been kind of not talking about it. And Keywan Lacey has better stats than Jeremiah Love, and Jeremiah Love is third or fourth in Heisman odds or whatever he is, and Keywan Lacey is nowhere to be seen on that, even though they're a 10-1 team.
And nobody's giving Ole Miss a chance, which they never give Ole Miss a chance on any season. But the big story right now is Lane. He's everywhere. He's on ESPN. He's on Fox Sports. He's Pat McAfee showed. Like that's all anybody wants to talk about is where Lane's going, and it's kind of a distraction for the team. I'm really hoping that they don't get too distracted, and it just blows our season because we have a really good shot at competing in the playoffs.
Do you think if, let's say, Ole Miss was to lose to Mississippi State, and they're around that 11 spot like Miami is, or no, they would have to be around 10 because 12 and 11 have to be a G5 or ACC team, which is another problem. That's why I think they'll get rid of the bids. Do you think, let's say, they do get dropped down to 10 because they lose Mississippi State, and do you think maybe they get left out of the playoffs if Lane Kiffin's not there like they did with Florida State?
Yeah, it's a very good possibility that they punish Ole Miss, which if you've got to win out. If you want to be able to compete in the playoffs, you've got to beat Mississippi State. That's just all there is to it.
I mean, they should be Mississippi State. They're a way better team. Mississippi State gave up 300 yards to Mizzou's running back, which is another top 3 running back. But, I mean, Keywan Lacey's the same capability of him. I mean, if you don't win that game, it's a disaster. And Lane Kiffin only has one person to blame, and it's himself. And I think what he's doing right now is clown behavior. If he it's not he's getting put in a tough position because like you have to make this decision in the middle of the season, but like he says he doesn't talk about this during the season, but he sent his family publicly to Baton Rouge and Gainesville. They didn't try to hide it. He went on the Pat McAfee show. I mean, it just seems like, I don't know, it seems like he has a big ego or something.
I don't know if he's got a. Well, I mean, he does have a big ego, but I think that I can't really blame him for feeling just at least hear the people out. But you've got to make a decision like soon because you're hurting the Ole Miss team. If you are going to planning on accepting the LSU job or Florida job, you're hurting recruiting if you don't hurry up and get down there.
It's all about timing. I think maybe the only way he stays at Ole Miss is because of the timing.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think, like, I really wish that college football would change this.
Not having the transfer
Like,
portal in the middle of the season, like in the middle of the playoffs.
yeah, that's right. That and like in the NFL, you cannot contact a coach until they're fired or to the end, after the Super Bowl. I wish college football would do something about that.
There's no way if Lane Kiffin says he's taking the Florida job that Ole Miss lets him coach in the playoffs. I saw some people talking about that, but like, why would you? He's just going to recruit your roster to Florida. You can't let him coach. And if he does leave, they'll probably promote Joe Judge to head coach or Pete Golding.
I would like to see Joe Judge. I think he does a great job.
If they win
Pete Golding,
if they win a couple games in the playoffs, do you think there's a chance he gets the job?
That's a very good possibility. I don't know how good he is as a recruiter. No, he did a decent job when he was at the Giants. I think he knows the X's and O's. He knows the ins and outs of college football. He's a really good coach.
He's a really good quarterback coach, Jackson Dart in Trinidad.
Okay.
You know who I saw may come to Ole Miss if Lane Kiffin leaves? Brian Daboll, the Giants coach, that just got
Yeah,
fired.
I mean, I think he's a good coach. Um,
He was the Bills'
I don't
offensive
think he's.
coordinator for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, I don't think he's going to end up at Ole Miss though.
What about John Gruden? Would you want John Gruden?
No, it's just too much baggage with John
I
Gruden.
mean,
Which I mean, a lot of people could say it was a lot of baggage with Lane Kiffin.
yeah. I mean, you can hire John Gruden, just don't check his emails. Anyways,
Yeah.
number 5, Texas Tech. Do you think they deserve to be over Ole Miss?
What about over Ole Miss? I believe they're one of the top 12 teams
I mean,
in
you
the
can
country.
justify them being over Ole Miss. It's not like just egregious.
That's true. And
They
they
do
spent
have
more
a
money than
loss to Arizona State. They lost to Mississippi State, though. I mean,
yeah. I mean that was kind of a fluke game, I believe, because they spent more than anybody in college football. Their defensive line is excellent. Their whole defense is excellent. They have I think they're going to shock some people if they get in that playoff.
yeah, I mean they're gonna beat Tulane, but I don't really see them get past Georgia.
Um, I don't know. I mean, Georgia hadn't really impressed me a whole lot.
I mean,
They had
Georgia's
tough
not the team
games.
they were a couple years ago, but I feel like that's kind of everybody. Maybe besides Ohio State, but we don't really know much about them.
Yeah. Georgia, I mean, I believe they probably have a top 3 coach in college football. Kirby Smart does a great job, great recruiter. Um, I would put him up there with Ryan Day and probably Lane Kiffin as the top 3 coaches in college football.
Really. Well, he's a good judge of coaching, but not on haircuts. His haircuts and atrocious. Um, so number 4, Georgia. We kind of talked about him. Gunnar Stockton's impressed me. I mean, he's a top quarterback in the country. He should probably be higher on Heisman odds. And their secondary, I mean, their defense isn't what it used to be, but I mean, they have a really good offense, and I think they have the capability of going all the way and winning the national championship and competing with a team like Ohio State.
Yeah. Their defense is solid. It's not great like the years past. Um, Gunnar Stockton, he's going to be a high draft pick when he comes out.
He's not going to be
Uh,
a model. He's not easy to look at. He has a face that only a mother can love.
yeah, I wouldn't get into all that, but
Well, number 3, Texas A&M. I mean, they almost collapsed against South Carolina. Marcel Reed played terrible that first half, but he really pulled it together in the second half. They're a really physical team. Do you think they can? They really haven't played anybody though in the SEC. Like they've kind of gotten lucky with their schedule. Um, what do you think about Texas A&M?
I think Marcel Reed, if can get him under pressure, tends to make mistakes.
Marcel Reed
Like I
isn't the
said,
most accurate.
what's that?
Marcel Reed isn't the most accurate. He's not Lenore Sellers. Like if he was on a boat, he could probably hit the water. I think Lenore Sellers would probably throw it on the boat. But Marcel Reed, I mean, he's not. He's not a Julian Sang type passer, but he does stuff with his legs, and he has a strong arm, and he has a chance to win the Heisman.
Yeah, I think for him to win the Heisman, they'll have to win out.
Yeah,
I
which
don't
their
think
next
I don't
games
think
are
them.
against Sanford, which he has a chance to stat pad. They may sit them kind of early in that game because why wouldn't you? They're going to beat them 67-0. And then they
Yeah, I don't
play
see him playing in the
Texas.
second half.
Then they play against Texas.
Uh, that's Texas could shock some people and knock them out of the playoffs.
It's at Texas
And
Stadium. I mean, I don't really think that would shock me if they play the way they play against South Carolina in that first half, because you can't do that against
yeah,
Texas.
Texas is too good, too deep. Arch Manning's a better quarterback than Lenore Sellers, in my opinion.
I think in everybody's opinion, Lenore Sellers sucks. Number two, you have Indiana. They got a great quarterback, probably number one in Heisman. I know we're kind of spoiling our things, but I don't really think that's a spoiler. I don't like their coach at all, like at all. I think they got a good defense, good offensive line. They got some really good receivers. What do you think about Indiana? Do you think they're just a product of their schedule, or do you think they're for real? They did beat Oregon, which
Um,
I mean, not a bad, I mean, pretty good win, but still, we don't really know how
and
for
like I
real
said,
Oregon is.
yeah, that's true. I think, like you said, they probably have the Heisman front runner. They have a very balanced attack. They can run the ball, they can pass the ball. Um, I don't know about how deep they are. Like if somebody gets hurt, they're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah. And number one, no surprise, Ohio State. They just been kind of mowing against their competition. They've really had no competition. Michigan Michigan's beating them the past 3 years. They're kind of like I said last episode, how Alabama is Georgia's daddy, Michigan is Ohio State's daddy.
Yeah. Like I said that Big Ten championship game between
That's
I'm
gonna
assuming
tell a
it's gonna be.
lot.
Oh yeah, whoever's got that is probably going to be the front runner to win the national championship. I think they're going to be the favorite to win the national championship.
And they got, I mean, Ohio State has the best receiving core. Do you think Julian Saying, I mean, he's a good quarterback, very accurate, but I mean, it's got to help to have probably two top receivers that are going to go to the NFL.
Yes, it definitely helps. He's very inexperienced. I don't know if he gets in these tight game where he actually has people in his face and has a team that has just as much talent as his team. How well he's going to do.
They had kind of a close game against. I think a lot of people forget Texas only lost to them 14-7. I mean,
That's right. Um,
okay, let's get into some of the matchups. So we're gonna be predicting who we think's gonna win. So first round, so Tulane versus Texas Tech. I think
that's Texas Tech all the way.
Texas
I don't
Tech.
even think Tulane should be in the playoffs.
I think they get dominated. Number 11 Miami versus number 6 Ole Miss.
I'm going to Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss just has too many weapons on offense, so I don't believe Miami's going to be able to keep up with them.
I think Georgia last year maybe had the worst looking quarterbacks in the world, Carson Beck and Gunnar Stockton. Um, it was, I don't know how Carson Beck pulled that Cavender twin. He's, well, I'm just saying. I also agree with Ole Miss. I think they win pretty easy. Um, Number 10 Alabama versus number 7 Oregon. I got Alabama here. I don't think Oregon. Their secondary is kind of sus. I think Alabama exposes them a little bit. The thing about Alabama
Yeah,
though, I don't know how far they can go because they have no running game.
yeah. Their whole offense is Ty Simpson and Ryan Williams. They have a couple good receivers.
Well, Ryan Williams really hasn't been. He's been like the third best receiver on the team.
Yeah, I mean they're deep at receiver.
Yeah.
But like I said, their whole offense is Ty Simpson.
So yeah, Alabama moving on.
Yes, I do. I see Alabama beating Oregon.
I think this is probably the best game of the first round. Notre Dame versus Oklahoma. This is kind of a toss up for me. Um, I think I may go Notre Dame this game.
I think Jeremiah Love's going to run all over Texas A&M. I mean Oklahoma. Excuse me.
Oklahoma. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you can shut down John Mateer, which I mean is a lot easier said than done, but that kind of removes all their offense, kind of like Alabama. I got Notre Dame winning this one.
Yep.
All right, so then it would be Notre Dame versus Ohio State rematch of the national championship. I think Ohio State beats Notre Dame. I think Jeremiah Love could have some success from them, but I mean that run game for Ohio State's really good. The defensive run game, and I don't know if Notre Dame really has a second. I don't know if anybody has a secondary to guard Ohio State's receivers. I mean, Jeremiah Smith could be the first overall pick, not this upcoming draft, the next, and Cornell Tate's going to be a top 10 pick.
Yeah, their top two are probably better than Ole Miss's. I think Ole Miss is a little bit deeper at receiver, from top to bottom. But those two guys, like you said, they will be first round picks whenever they come out.
So yeah, Ohio State moving on right there.
Ohio State easily.
So Texas Tech versus Georgia. I got Georgia right here. I mean, I you know, I think it would be a lot closer than people think. Kind of like the Arizona State and Texas game. I don't think people will expect it to be that close. Arizona State did have Cam Scatterboo, and just like Tua, I don't know if he has a brain. He came out the womb with CTE. So, I mean, I don't. But I mean, I got Georgia, and maybe a closer game than people expect, though.
Um, I go with Texas Tech. I think they put too much money on that defensive line. I think they're going to shock some people.
That was the problem with why Ole Miss couldn't beat, well, they could beat Georgia, but why they didn't beat Georgia is because they couldn't stop the run, and then they had to bring everybody in, and then kind of expose the corners to some one-on-ones and safeties.
Yep.
I got Georgia, you got Texas Tech. So Ole Miss versus Texas A&M. I'm going Ole Miss in this one.
Going Ole Miss also.
I think Keywan Lacey can run on them. I mean, South Carolina put up 30 points on them, and that was the worst offense in the league, maybe besides Kentucky. And I mean, Kentucky's 5-5, so I mean, I think Ole Miss can. If you are losing 30-3 to Ole Miss, that game may be 60 at the end of it. They may have 60.
Yeah, I don't. If Lane Kiffin is still there, I see Ole Miss winning.
We both got Ole Miss. So Alabama versus Indiana. I'm actually gonna go Indiana this game. I think they have the defensive line and the defense to stop their running game, and I think Mendoza can give them some problems. I got Indiana in a close game, which may surprise some people, but I like Indiana in this.
Yeah, I'm going the same way. I think Indiana is just like I said. I give a slight edge to Mendoza over Ty Simpson. They got a lot more experience. I think they have a look. A few more weapons.
So it will be Ohio State versus Georgia for me, and Ohio State versus Texas Tech. I think we can both agree. I think Ohio State probably beats both.
Yes. Yeah, I think Ohio State's probably playing the most complete football in the nation right now.
They really haven't been tested, so you don't know if they're for sure. But I mean, neither has Indiana. So I mean, I would not be surprised if Alabama comes out and beats Indiana by 20. Would you?
Um,
I would say this. I would be more surprised if Indiana kills Alabama than Alabama killing Indiana.
yeah, if Indiana wins, it's going to be a close game.
So Ohio State first spot in the national championship. Next we got Ole Miss versus Indiana. I think Mendoza can have some success against the Ole Miss secondary. I think Ole Miss can have success against their defense, but I feel like it'd probably be a close game. But I think Indiana may edge out Ole Miss's defense. I'm gonna go Indiana for a Big Ten championship.
Ole Miss is going to shock the world. Uh, Ole
And
Miss,
this
Ohio
is
State national championship
you're saying this is with Lane Kiffin.
with Lane Kiffin. That's right.
So I got Ohio State and Indiana. You got Ole Miss and Ohio State. You got Ohio State or Ole Miss, and give me a score prediction.
Um, I just think
I
Ohio
think
State
I
should
think it
pretty
would be
much.
hard for Ole Miss to play with Ohio State's receivers.
Yes, I, I said if they can get pressure on the quarterback, like I said, he's really inexperienced, but we don't get Ole Miss doesn't get a lot of sacks,
Well, they get
so I don't
pressure, they
know.
just can't capitalize on sacks, which they have gotten better at. I think a lot of it is Princewell, Umami Yellen stepping up a lot.
Yeah. No, Perkins, he only has 1 or 2 sacks this year. He had 10.5 last year.
But he is
I
playing a
think,
different position.
yeah, I wish if he is playing linebacker or something, blitz a little bit more with him. He's super fast.
I
He's
think
probably the best.
they did start doing that.
Yeah, he's probably the best athlete on our defensive side.
Um, and for me, Ohio State versus Indiana, I got Ohio State repeating. I mean, it's just kind of there's a lot of parity in college football. I could see Texas A&M winning it. I could see any of these teams, maybe besides Tulane and Miami, winning it.
Yeah, that's the NIL has changed the landscape of college football.
Yep. For me, I got Ohio State repeating. For my score prediction, I'll say 31-14 Ohio State over Indiana. Which the Big Ten championship, I mean, that's going to tell a lot. We're going to see if Indiana's for real or if Ohio State's for real. They may both be for real. I think Ohio State's probably going to be in for the second time. That that game. Now we're gonna go over the little Heisman odds, and then we're gonna give our top three Heismans and a dark horse. So for the Heisman odds, you got top three is Fernando Mendoza at plus 100, Julian Sang plus 200, and Marcel Reed plus 575. And then the other two after that is Diego Pavia plus 1,200 and Gunnar Stockton plus 2,000.
Yeah, there's a lot of good athletes on that list. Like I
I
said, right
think it's
now
kind
the
of
favorite is
Mendoza's award to lose right now.
right. That's if if he can, which Sayon, he says Sayin, is that how you say his name?
Saying.
Sayin. Got more passing yards. He doesn't have near about the touchdowns as he has, but he's very much more accurate than Mendoza.
I mean, I think if you give Mendoza, Jeremiah Smith, and Carnell Tate, I mean, and then give Julian
Yeah.
Say and Indiana's receivers, which aren't bad, but I would give the edge to Mendoza. I would give the edge to Marcel Reed over Julian Say. I don't think Julian Say is going to be in my top three, to be honest.
Yeah, Marcel Reed, if Texas A&M wins out, I can see him be invited to New York. But I just think he throws a lot of interceptions, which four of them came in one game.
He threw
But,
4
like I
interceptions
said,
in one game.
Did he throw 4 interceptions against South Carolina?
I think he had 3 or something. I mean, that's still,
Okay.
I mean,
Well, maybe.
he only has 8 interceptions on the year.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to do enough
To win it.
win it.
Yeah. He does have the rushing stats over them, though.
That's true. He is a very, very capable runner.
All right, so now we're going to give our top 3. I'll let you go first. Who's your top 3 and then one dark horse?
My top 3, Mendoza's probably my favorite. I'm going to go Jeremiah Love, it's number 2, which I know it's the quarterback award. They're most likely going to give it to a quarterback.
Do you think he gets invited to New York?
I do believe Jeremiah Love's going to get invited to New York. And then I would have to go Gunnar Stockton. If George can win out, I like what he's doing. I think he's got a very good shot at it. My dark horse, which nobody's talking about this guy. He's way down the list. I'm going to read some of these stats for this guy. And 600 passing yards. He only has 14 touchdowns passing, only 3 interceptions. 444 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns. Plays on the number 6 team in the country. Like, why is nobody talking about Chambliss as a Heisman?
I think it's because of
not
Lane
even giving him
Kiffin.
a shot.
It's got to be. And he has the story. I mean, he was a D2 quarterback, but that's getting overshadowed right now.
That's right.
My top 3, Mendoza. He 2,641 passing yards, 35 touchdowns, which is, and only 5 interceptions. That's a really good touchdown to interception ratio. He leads Power 4 in total touchdowns. And, I mean, Indiana's, I think they're 10-0 right now. 11-0, 10-0.
Yeah.
Number 2, I'm gonna go with Diego Pavia. I don't think he's getting talked enough. He has over 3,000 yards with his passing and rushing and 28 touchdowns. One of the best dual threat quarterbacks, and I think the story really helps him. I mean, Vandy. I mean, they're not a known football school, more of a baseball school. Really, more of an academic school. Vandy sucked at football. But, I mean, Diego Pavia is really, and Clark Lee has really, really regained Vanderbilt football back and the fans and all that stuff. And I think it's really good for college football. And I give Pavia number 2. And my number 3, I'm going to have to go with Jeremiah Love also. He has 9 straight games with a touchdown. And he's sharing carries with his running back. And I would like to see Jeremiah Love in New York. I think too many quarterbacks get it. Last year it was really good because it was Travis Hunter and Ashton Genty. This year probably be a quarterback to win it. I think Jeremiah Smith could be up there too, though.
Yeah. Another one. Go ahead.
My dark horse, I would have to say Jacob Rodriguez. He has 97 tackles, 7 forced fumbles, and he scored. They lined him up at quarterback, probably trying to get him the Heisman. He compared to Manti Te'o's season, he has just as good numbers, and Manti Te'o finished second. And I would actually give the edge to Jacob Rodriguez because his girlfriend's real.
Yeah, very dominant player, probably the most dominant player in college football on the defensive side of the ball.
Do you think he gets points for his mustache, or that's not something the voters think of?
Yeah, I'm going to say they don't. It's a very nice mustache, but I don't think the voters really care about his mustache.
Man, you watch yourself, son. That's a very nice mustache. All right, so now we're going to be talking about the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight that it was announced a while ago, and nobody really thought it was real, but it was officially announced, I believe, Monday. And I mean, what are kind of when you saw it, did you think it was real? Like, what did you think of it?
I thought Jake Paul was crazy to fight Anthony Joshua. Joshua's way too big. He's got too much punching power. He knocked out Francis Ngannou 2 fights ago. I think this is going to be a quick fight. The only chance that Jake Paul has is to run from him for the first 3, 4, 5 rounds and just tire him out.
I don't even think that would work. So let's go over a little bit of the rules. Anthony Joshua must weigh 245 pounds or less. a lot of people are making a big deal out of that, but I don't really think that's a big deal. I mean, Jake Paul is going to be giving up 30 pounds, and Anthony Joshua literally fights at 250, so that doesn't really change anything for me. Anthony Joshua is coming off of elbow surgery, but I think with one arm, he probably still knocks him out. And the round and duration is 8 rounds, 3 minutes, which is standard, and 1 minute rest, of course. And this isn't a title fight. Nobody's holding a title in this fight. Jake Paul, I expect him to weigh about 220, so he'll probably be giving up about 20 pounds. I think Jake Paul is a natural cruiserweight. Is there any way that Jake Paul wins?
Yeah, if he offers them enough money.
I think. I think it could be a Mortal Kombat finish in the ring. It's possible. I don't know. I'm not just saying if Jake Paul can win. I think he may die, Creed style.
Yeah, I don't believe that, but they are fighting with 10-ounce gloves. I know it was Mike Tyson and him. They fought with 14-ounce gloves, 16-ounce gloves, something like that.
I mean, you gotta give respect to Jake. Did you think he would ever take a fight like this? I mean, he went from fighting one. I mean, he went to
6-year-olds.
Yeah, Tank Davis, and went to fight Tank Davis. And I heard the reason Tank Davis's fight got canceled is because Santa Claus needed him to prepare toys for.
No, it's much worse than that. He got accused in a lawsuit of beating a woman at believe at a strip club or casino or something like that.
Well, I heard he was trying to spar for Jake Paul and it got out of hand. I don't know. That's just reports I've heard. Well, Tank Davis was 4'2", and I think that may be exaggerated, but Anthony Joshua is 6'7". So
6'7" was 6'6".
6'7", 6'6". I mean,
yeah, that's still huge.
I mean, he weighs 250. I mean, he's British though. Does that change anything for you?
No, he's gonna knock Jake Paul out in the third round. I'm gonna give him to the third round.
I don't think it goes that far. I think it's the bell rings and I think there's a death in the ring.
Yeah, we hope not.
I mean,
I don't want to see that.
Well, and I don't really like British people, so I'm actually going for Jake Paul in this fight.
What do you have against British people?
I mean, I don't know. Don't like the way they talk. So, are you rooting for Jake Paul, the underdog, or are you going for Anthony Joshua? Do you want to see him get knocked out?
I'm not a real big fan of Jake Paul. Like, every fight he's ever been in that he shouldn't have been fighting. I mean, he's fighting UFC fighters.
I mean, if you look at the 10 fights he's had, they really haven't been much worse. Probably better than a lot of Anthony Joshua's first 10 fights. So I feel like that's not a really good. He says he wants to be a world champion. Do you think, I saw a theory on this fight, do you think Jake Paul took this fight because this is going to be his last fight in boxing and he kind of wants to go out on a bang? He knows he's going to lose. Like, do you think if Jake Paul loses his fight, like the kind of aura of Jake Paul's fights are gone? Like, if somebody sees him getting knocked out, would they even want to watch that anymore? Or it just depends on who he fights next?
Yeah, I think it depends on who he fights next. Every fight that he's had, I've been rooting for the other guy. I don't know why. Just Jake Paul just rubs me the wrong way.
So I heard also that Terrence Crawford accepted the fight with Jake Paul, but Jake Paul took Anthony Joshua over Terrence Crawford. I don't know. Do you think this finally gets the like respect that Jake Paul wants from the boxing fans.
You have to definitely respect somebody who's going to stand in the ring with somebody that big, is willing to. I mean, it's going to punch, try to knock you out.
Do you think? I mean, I feel like this is kind of a lose lose for Jake Paul. If he gets knocked out, I mean, his whole entire boxing career may be over. Like, I don't know if people will want to watch his fights at the same time. And if he somehow pulls out a miracle, I mean, what is everybody going to say? It's rigged. So it's almost a lose lose, just like the Mike Tyson fight.
Uh, Mike Tyson fight. I mean, everybody knew that
I don't. Not
it
everybody
was.
knew that. I think a lot of people thought Mike Tyson was going to win. He was 99 years old. I don't see how, but
Yeah, I still wouldn't want to get hit by him.
I would knock Mike Tyson out right now. And this is a call
Yeah.
out. So you don't give Jake Paul a prayer in this fight?
And not a prayer. Yeah, he's getting knocked out.
I got Jake Paul winning first round knockout.
Okay. So if I don't know what to say about
I
that.
would bet
Uh,
my house on it.
Yeah, what, you don't have a house. Let's go over Jake Paul's last three fights. Julio Chavez Jr.
He
won
is
10
now
rounds.
in ICE custody.
But it did prove that Jake Paul can go 10 rounds. He got his stamina up.
He fought 10 rounds against Nate Diaz, but Mike Tyson, he was 77 years old, and then his fight before that was, I don't know if I'm reading the notes wrong, but it says Diego Papia, which is about the same age range Jake Paul's fight.
Mike Perry, 2024.
I do
He won a
remember that
technical knockout.
when Mike Tyson
Round
had to
six.
cancel. Now,
What's that?
Mike Tyson had to cancel the first fight, and Mike Perry stepped in.
That's right.
Now, I will say, Anthony Joshua got knocked out his last fight. I mean, and a lot of people say he's 36 years old, which is, not as old as Mike Tyson, which is getting in there, but I wouldn't put too much age into it. I mean, he's still relatively young. I mean,
He's still professional.
Jake Paul's 30 years old, I mean, I know that's 6 years, but still.
He's still a professional fighter. He still trains every day. He's not just jumping in the ring just to get a paycheck.
Yeah, and we actually have a quote from Anthony Joshua. He said he's going to break the internet over Jake Paul's face, which I don't really understand that. That doesn't make sense to me. So I don't really get that, but okay. I think he's got CTE already, so.
Yeah, I don't know. He did knock out Francis Ngannou.
I mean, he was a UFC fighter.
Yeah, I still wouldn't want to get in the ring with him either.
He did almost beat. I mean, he should have beat Tyson Fury. I think the judges gave it to Tyson Fury, but I mean, I don't think Tyson Fury was taking that fight seriously.
Yeah. So how do you see Jake Paul winning this fight?
Maybe by pulling out a gun and shooting Anthony Joshua. I don't know. I really don't. I mean, I don't. The fight's in Miami. I mean, I don't know.
It's on Netflix, right? I hope they do a better job than the Mike Tyson fight. It was lagging, and Netflix didn't do a very good job with that whole fight.
No, they didn't. I don't think they were prepared for how many people were going to watch that fight. You think this does as much numbers as Mike Tyson, maybe because more people expect Jake Paul to lose and they're going to want to watch?
I don't know. Mike Tyson's an icon in the boxing ring. I don't know. I think everybody was pulling for Mike Tyson. I don't know if anybody really cares who wins this fight.
I think it almost has almost more of a draw because I mean more people are expecting Jake Paul to lose, and that's what they wanted to see, him getting knocked out.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. I mean,
And then you have
because I
people
like to see I like to see him
from the
get knocked.
United Kingdom watching. Anthony Joshua's British, so maybe.
out.
What
I
are the
see.
what are the ways you think Anthony Joshua can win this fight?
He steps in the ring.
Yeah. Um,
If he shows up, I think he's gonna win.
um, yeah. I mean, it's in Miami. Yeah. I don't really see a way Jake Paul can win this fight. To be honest,
I
do
Joshua's
you
too
think
big.
maybe he has a puncher's chance somehow? Like he lands something, and I mean, AJ doesn't have the best chin anymore. Do you think he has enough power to knock him out?
Has he knocked anybody out?
Yeah, he's knocked a lot of people out. I mean, he lost to Tommy Fury though.
Yeah. Which
That was a
Tommy
while ago.
Fury is. Yeah, it was a while ago. It was an up and coming young fighter. Uh, I I think Josh was just a much better, got a lot more power. I don't see. I give him a puncher's chance, but I don't see it happening.
I mean, if somehow Jake Paul wins this fight, I think everybody's gonna say this fight's rigged. Which I mean, it's not rigged. You can't really rig a fight like this, but that's what I'm saying. It's kind of a lose lose. Maybe I mean I think Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul's good enough where Anthony Joshua has to take him a little serious. He can't just go in there with no training.
I mean, he's gonna have to train. He's gonna stay in shape, or I mean, he's gonna have to work out. He's gonna have to do all the stuff that you normally do. Because I mean, like you said, he's got to be under 245 pounds, so he can't just show up. I think his walking around weight's probably 275, 280, or something like that.
Yeah. Um. So if you had to say in a percent chance, or the percent chances that Jake Paul wins this fight,
I'm gonna give him a 10% chance.
10% chance.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a 0.1% chance to win this fight. I don't think there's a way he can win this fight. I think, honestly, I think if he somehow survives this fight, I think he's going to gain a lot of people's respect and doesn't get knocked out.
I respect him much more if he can go the distance with Joshua. I'll respect him more, even if he loses the fight.
Do you respect him a little bit that he's even stepping in there?
Yeah, I mean he's actually fighting somebody that's still training, still fighting professional fights. He's still that's an actual boxer.
Yeah.
He's not retired.
Yeah. I think Jake Paul's going to have to clinch a lot and kind of run the first couple rounds and hope that Anthony Joshua tires.
Yeah, and work his body. I mean, you work his body, then.
I mean, Jake Paul's head is at his belly button, so that's about all he can punch.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, that's what we all have today. Thank you for watching episode 2 of the Thrasher Show. We'll be trying to do 2 a week. Thank you for watching. Peace out.